Well, we've all waited for this moment. Time to get the shoulders out of the mold. So, just to speed this up a bit, because I only do this one cut, I don't work a camera very well. I've already taken all the bolts out. Now, in doing that, my top forms, pieces of wood, have already broken free. So, let's go with that and see how we do with the rest of it. It's This is the first time this mold's been used, so I just stuck a wedge in, and there's those two. And the wood usually comes off pretty easy, so that's not the highlight. The highlight's going to be, I forgot to do something. When I put all this together, I forgot to put wax here in my seam. So any resin that came through into that seam is going to lock in. So there's going to be some difficulties. I already know that. But we'll try and see how long it takes me to do this. So these pieces came right off as soon as I pulled the bolts out. And so now it's time to get in here and see if I can find an opening. So I can still feel quite a bit of soap, quite a bit of wax in there. And I don't seem to be just able to pull it apart overly easy, so I'm just going to stick a bit of and that's just a metal scraper. Just going to put that down in there quickly. Okay, so I've got an opening. So now I'm just going to stick in one of my wedges. And you can use almost anything for a wedge. You know, these scrapers you can get at your local department store. They'll work fine. But I do have these. Okay, and this looks like it's actually going to come off fairly easily. Now, one thing I do have, and if you do run into difficulties, when you're making your mold, in the front here, in your gun boxes, these are locking areas. So the odd time, what you have to do, I usually use a little piece of plasticine to seal the hole, or I do a little Bondo, but I got a little hole here, a little hole here. And I'll just come in with the air gun and just give it a bit of a spray. As soon as I get it in the hole. There, and you can actually hear that crack. That was it separating from the mold. Alright, so this one should just come right off now. I've got a little bit more here. So there's a little bit of resin that's weeped over here. So I'm just going to come up a bit, just along the edge, and come in with a wedge again. Okay, and right now it's the gun boxes that are creating some difficulty, which is expected. And there we go. There's half the form out. This should be a little easier to work on now. So far it's been all nice and easy, but once again we're up into the gun box, and we've got a lock in here. So I'm just going to grab this, pull the edge around. And I'm going to lift them up. Do the same from the top. there it is. Okay, and of course everything is dropping. Still got a little bit of a lock on the gun box. There's definitely moving there. Maybe I'll throw in some wedges again. I'll go with some of the taller ones. That's it. That's all I need. There's the other form. And there we go. And that is really quite nice and light, which is what you want. There's going to be some cleanup, of course, all the extra resin, but that is a beautiful shoulder. And that's the nicest thing about working with fiberglass, is that when you're working with this, you end up with a very light dowlick. So if we look at Dreadnought here, Dreadnought's 800 pounds. Or sorry, Dreadnought is 600 pounds, 800 would be in it. And he's very, very heavy constructed. The fiberglass on him was all hand laid up. There's a lot of wood into him and a lot of metal. So that is a construction method that's, that was my first dowlick and first learning. A normal set of shoulders for a shotcraft is probably going to be around 40 or 50 pounds. That's not even 10. So I'm very happy with this. Especially when I get all the cleanup done, get the edges on. This you can pretty much clean up with scissors. I have an electric scissor I use, and it usually goes through this pretty good. Of course, it helps if I charge it up first. But you see how it's already trimmed off the edge there, nice. So I can go back in with scissors, clean this out, come in, sand it down to the thickness I want, do the same in the bottom, and then just clean up all the wax, sand it down, fix any areas. Here we have a seam, so a lot of this is the soap. Yeah, a lot of it's the soap. And I'll just give that a good clean off and come back and sand it off a bit, prep it for some primer. And all in all, quite happy. And we'll see you again.